Oh, what a nightmare.
International Airport, the birthplace of midget wrestling, it's Prime Time with George Dorunda. Tonight, Showcase Cinema's own John Lowe, more animals at Southwick's Zoo, plus the entertainers. So get ready for the most entertaining show on television. Hi, I'm George Dorunda, and welcome to Primetime. And what a power-packed, blockbuster kind of show we have for you tonight on Primetime, because in addition to all of our wonderful guests, we're here at Bradley International Airport, well, for no particular other reason than to watch planes land and take off. What could be more entertaining? All this a bonus for you, the home viewers, and the cost to you? Nothing. You know, most other shows, do you think they do this? Nah, we could have done what most other shows would do. Send Doug out with a camera, get a shot of one plane, and then just run that same plane over and over again. But no, not us. We're here doing it, well, as close to live as we can get. And hey, have you ever wondered where the money from a movie ticket goes and how the money is distributed? Well, we're going to find out about that and much more over at Showcase Cinemas with our good friend John Lowe. Cy Becker, pay attention. Well, John, welcome back to Primetime here, a regular fixture.
Right.
And let's see, going back to 1964 at Showcase Cinemas here, you used to have ticket outlets.
Yes.
Where people could purchase tickets via credit card or at major
part of the thing with the road shows was setting up ticket agencies, and we, of course, when playing exclusive runs, we set up ticket agencies in Greenfield, Northampton, Westfield, Ware, and we would have originally we had music stores because we found that for some reason music stores like that they were trying to get the traffic brought into their little locations, and we would advertise them in, of course, the ads. And in those days, we were advertising in the Greenfield paper and Northampton paper, Holyoke, Pittsfield paper, Brattleboro paper.
So people used to travel down here from...
They would go, yes, because this was the only place they could see these pictures for about a year. My Fair Lady, Dr. Zhivago, Gone with the Wind, Ryan's Daughter, all the road shows. Very successful things, and they would play 16 or 18 weeks. Well, anyway, we decided also to try to work with Sears. So we had ticket agencies in the Sears stores. And you could, of course, pick up the phone, go to Sears, and get your tickets for even today's show.
Because the seating was reserved?
Yes, there was a blocks of seats that were reserved for what we call the agencies. So the agency then would call us and say, I have so-and-so tickets for today. And we would set those aside, and they would mail us the money, and you would come down and pick up the tickets. Also, we had American Express and Master Charge tickets, which, by the way, they're just starting to go into now in the major cities again. They're going into situations where you'll be able to go into a theater and swipe your credit card on a special booth. You won't even have to go to the box office, and out will come some tickets. This is a new technology that they've been working on, and it started actually last November and October, and during the holidays they sold thousands of tickets that way in LA and New York, and they have some in Boston right now where they've done it in some of the first-run Boston houses. They've been very successful. So you can charge your ticket or call in, whichever way is convenient.
While we're talking about ticket prices, how much of this money goes back to the motion picture companies, and how much does the theater retain?
Yes.
What is the percentage there?
Well, we very rarely have a chance to explain to people. Everybody thinks because we're charging $6.75 that we're making a lot of money. The film company is the one who feels just the opposite. The film company says, we make the picture, we spend thousands of dollars now, actually millions of dollars, to advertise it on television, and they take from us usually an average of 70% of what we take in at the box office on every dollar. The film isn't sold to us for $100 or $500 or $1,000. It's sold to us on a percentage. And it's been that way for a long time, but the only thing is the rental keeps going higher and higher and higher. The pictures, as far as the film company is concerned, are the reason they're coming to your theater. And although we say if you make a lousy picture, that's why no one comes to the theater. We can't afford to play lousy pictures. But they don't really set out to make lousy pictures. They set out to make pictures that have probably too limited appeal to certain people and not enough to a mass group of people in relation to what they spend for the picture.
Do they dictate what you should charge for a ticket price?
Not really. Everything is very above board, very much surveyed and watched over by all sorts of people. You'll find that mostly the competition tells you what to charge. In other words, it's like a donut shop charging so much for a cup of coffee. If the guy down the street was charging 20 cents less, he would feel that somebody else would go there for coffee instead of his place. So they all more or less are charging almost the same. The film costs are getting tremendous. The average film now that's being made in Hollywood is costing around $20 million, and it's costing around $6 to $8 million to advertise that picture. Now, there are pictures made more cheaply. There are pictures that made more expensively. Look at the last Toys was $40 million and did very poorly. Hoffa cost $40 million, did very poorly. The people really aren't concerned with how much the picture costs. It's how much it entertains them, or how much they find likable in it, or how much they think they're going to like before they go see it. The reviewers are playing a very important part in your wanting to see a picture. A picture like Crying Game, which we're playing now, was a small little Irish picture made for very little amount of money, about $8 million. And in the past few months, it's got such notoriety about the don't reveal the ending. And now it's got, of course, Academy Award nominations, and it's going to be a very big success. So there is a difference in a picture like that and A Few Good Men, which was a $40 million picture, but the expenses on that were over $25 million just to pay the directors and the stars and everything else. So it's a tough business, and it's a tough business to be in it, in the theater part of it. We always get calls every once in a while. Someone would like to build a theater in their own little small town, and they want to know how do they go about getting the pictures and things like that. And of course, it's like we're seeing now the demise of Sage Allen and all these stores. They can't stand the competition anymore, the competition of the big groups. You just have to have a tremendous amount of money to run competitive things like this now.
What do you attribute the success of your multiplex operation over here as opposed to the single theaters downtown? Is it the parking primarily?
No, I think yes, it is, and it's not. It's a group of things. The reason people come to multiplex theaters is there's a convenient choice. There's easy, ample parking in relation to a single house downtown. If you were playing a big picture downtown in a single house and that picture was sold out, you would be stuck. You'd have to wait around 2 hours or come back another night. In a multiplex, where you've got 10 or 12 or 14 or 16 screens, if something is sold out, there's always another picture that you could see tonight. Not that you're seeing second choice, but it's just as good, and you go to see that one instead.
But you do have options.
You have options to see that. The multiplexes usually are bigger. They're better. Oh, we have complaints sometimes that the screens are kind of small in some of the houses, but they're all designed now differently so that they're designed for the size of the screen there is. So
Why did you get into splitting the theaters?
well, I think that this started, we didn't do it ourselves, everybody did it. Everybody that built multiplexes, no one had any idea, I don't think, that these theaters would become so necessary. The film companies wanted to play here. They would say to us that they can get more money out of showing a picture here, which is, after all, what they're in business for. I think it's a case where they gave the public what they wanted. They're convenient to go to. There's always another picture to see. They're well run. They're clean. They're freshly kept up all the time. We spend a tremendous amount of money on maintenance here and upkeep. And I think they serve a much better purpose than that single house downtown. Of course, downtown in all of the big cities has had a tough time with the stores leaving and different elements there. And I think downtowns will come back in the future because there's too much of an investment in downtown to leave it sink any further. And I think that there will be some theaters downtown and in some cities as the time goes on. Of course, the civic centers that have been put downtown serve as that entertainment part of it now downtown.
Mm-hmm. And
so
Symphony Hall. And
yes, every city downtown now has a big civic center or so close by to it that it's still called downtown. It's just a changing way of life. But people want multiplexes. In fact, some of the multiplexes in California, the new ones, and some in Belgium, there are 18 and 20 theaters in one multiplex, 2 and 3 stories of theaters.
Now here, speaking about the Civic Center, you were able to maintain the stadium staggered seating. Mm-hmm. Even with the splits.
Yes, well, we had to do that. See, that's what helps. The theaters are you're not sitting behind somebody. In the old days when we went to a theater years ago, if a big fella sat in front of you or a woman with a hat sat in front of you, you were trying to look between the hole of the other seat. We have our stadium type seating now, are very sloped, very severely sloped auditorium rows, so that you're actually sitting above the person that's in front of you. So that makes it much easier for a viewing of the screen. And all these things, of course, took up space. They took up seating space because we couldn't crowd as many seats in as you would, because they were all staggered. We also were deeper. We had to build the theater deeper into the front, as we explained and showed you. We were about 30 feet down in the front from the ground level.
From ground level. When you split the theaters, some are split lengthwise and some you split the width.
They found it, again, it's depending upon the shape of the theater that we're going to split. That is what determines whether you're going to split down the middle or crosswise. The bigger theaters usually are split crosswise now. In the new theaters that we're building, no matter whether we're building a 500-seat theater or a 100-seat theater in this particular complex, all the new ones are built so that the screen is from wall to wall, and the amount of seats are all good viewable seats. We have new theaters in Berlin, Connecticut. We have a new theater in Revere, and we have a couple of new theaters going into Connecticut, one in Bridgeport that's being built, and a few others.
With the advancements of HD TV, high definition television, and better pictures being able to be put into your home, do you foresee, and also some of these smaller movie companies are folding, one bad picture could kill a smaller movie company. Do you foresee the day when better pictures will be made and you'll be taking down the walls and going back to the large screens again?
No, I think the next technical advance will be the advancement of satellite film. In other words, the film will be delivered to us via satellite, so that there will be no booth as we know it today, no projectionist as we know it today. There'll be an engineer perhaps for the whole complex. A tremendous saving in print costs. Right now, the average picture that is released, a picture like Aladdin, comes out with 22 or 2,500 prints at $1,000 or $1,400 a print. And in 4 weeks or 5 weeks' time, those prints are not needed anymore. Everyone wants to see the pictures brand new, and they want to see them first. As a result, the tremendous amount of money they have to spend to advertise a picture on television, national television, makes it necessary for them to make more prints so they can get more play dates. With satellite, obviously, they would not need but a handful of prints, and that would give you a picture just as good as what you're seeing now, if it's technically able to be done. And that will come with high definition TV.
Right. I haven't seen it yet. Quite as good as film.
It's a long ways. It's a long ways away. It's 15 years away, actually, before it's completely adaptable to what we would need it for. But in the meantime, the sound systems are getting tremendously better. We're starting to put in a lot of Dolby stereo all over in every one of our theaters. We're trying to get that down, and there's two new sound systems that are coming that are going to be even more elaborate. And I think you'll find that they'll be back into more road shows and more 70mm pictures as the time goes along. They would like to make more big event pictures, and they call them event pictures, pictures that you can see only in big theaters, only for a limited engagement, and then go back out. In other words, we need a lot more Gone with the Winds and Dr. Zhivago's and My Fair Ladies, I think, to get...
Well, since Star Wars, I don't think you've had a movie here for over a year.
Oh, no. But you see, now we've been doing a lot of different things where we play the picture in 2 theaters. That is something that... You see, we are not doing these things ourselves. This is the film companies and the big exhibitors that own tremendous chains have decided now the way to do it is to run the print, or to get 2 prints of one picture. We have a picture coming tomorrow, the Robert Duvall picture and Michael Douglas picture, that will be playing in 2 theaters at the same time. Well, now when you play a picture in 2 theaters at the same time, you use up twice the amount of seats in 1 week. So therefore you're getting the equivalent of 2 weeks run in 1 week.
And hopefully it's a sellout.
Yeah, exactly. So we've been doing that a lot. We did that a lot at Christmas time, running 2 prints in the 2 screens.
Well, this has been very interesting, and we've sold out on time once again. Thanks for being here, and stick around. We'll be back with more of the big program right after this.
Wildlife rabies is now a threat in Massachusetts. Avoid contact with wild animals. Let wild things be wild. Pets can also become infected and bring this deadly disease into your home. By vaccinating your cats and dogs, you protect yourself and your family. Vaccinations against rabies are available through your veterinarian. For more information on rabies, contact your local health department or veterinarian. Rabies is a risk no one needs to take.
Yes, welcome back to the big program. We're here at Bradley Field. We're watching airplanes take off and land. And kids, for those of you watching at home, if someday you'd like to get your own TV show, you know, all you kids also watching who attend these local colleges and fine universities of the area, let me give you a little tip. Now, when I usually announce something, and when you hear people announce something like, Jimmy Stir! No, that's not being overkill. That's not being sing-songy. That's what is known in the industry as heating up the name, heating up the syllables. That's known also as showmanship. And kids, you go ahead and use it. That's just for you. That's a gift from me to you. And wait a minute. Marcia? No, oh, I thought I saw somebody in there that I knew. Anyway, here I am with my very own entertainers performing Sweet Caroline.
it's going strong. Was in the spring, then spring became the summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? Hands, touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would, but now I look at the lights and it don't seem so lonely. We fill it up with only two. And when it hurts, hurting runs off my shoulder. How could I hurt when I'm holding you? Warm, touching warm, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would, but now Sweet Caroline, well, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would. Sweet Caroline, well, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would, but now
We have to pause here, but we will return. Do not be frightened.
Thousands of forest fires are started by people who never realize what they've done. Some never even set foot in the forest.
Yes, welcome back to the big program. We're here at Bradley Field, and we're watching airplanes take off and land. Hey, it's so exciting. I can just feel the electricity. Doug can feel the electricity. He was tangling with the electric fence earlier. But hey, let's have some more excitement. We're heading out to Southwick Zoo with our good friend, Tina. Now this guy looks like a little junior-sized harmless porcupine.
No, he's a hedgehog, and his name is Spike.
Uh-huh.
He won't get any bigger than this.
He's full grown.
Yeah, he's 3 years old. And these are not quills, they're hair.
They look like quills.
But they're hair.
They are a little
It's because
pointy.
he's got ear sockets. And when he rolls up into a little ball, they stick up, and the ear makes him pointy and sharp. So his enemies won't want to take a bite out of him. And that's his special mechanism, actually, When he's scared, he'll roll up into a little ball, and then you can't get his underside, which is really soft
So
and
he looks
furry.
like he really looks like a harmless little fuzzball.
And he eats dog food.
So he is a meat eater.
Yes, and he sleeps all day, and he's up all night.
And this is as big as he gets. And how old will he get to be?
I really don't know that, but he's 3 now, and he should live a really long time, actually.
And is there any connection between him and a porcupine?
No, no connection at all.
No connection at all. Not even the same family.
Nope. His other relatives, Egyptian hedgehogs and stuff, are 10 times his size. They're huge. This is the smallest hedgehog
So
you
there
will
are
find.
different varieties of hedgehog.
Hedgehogs, yeah.
And which variety is he?
It's a European, I think.
A European hedgehog.
Yes. He smells everybody else, like the snake and the iguana and stuff.
Do these animals get along with each other?
No, I doubt it.
That's the reason when he smells these other varieties. Okay, and these guys are...
European ferrets. This is Maddie, and this is Cody.
Do they bite?
No.
Oh, they're harmless. And what family are they from?
Ferret, mongoose, I believe.
The mongoose.
Or, yeah, ferrets, mongoose.
And what do they eat?
Well, cat food, right now. They eat meat. In the
They eat
wild,
meat?
they would eat prairie dogs.
Oh,
She's regular colored.
and what makes this regular colored and this the new and improved color?
And he's albino. He had no pigmentation when he was born. So in the wild, he would die because he can't hide from his predators.
So this is a rarity.
Yes. Their special feature is their backbone. They can just bend it like this, and it does not bother them.
So there is no backbone, or is
Well,
it,
there is, but it's
it
very
just
flexible. so-
Totally flexible.
Yeah, she can just squeeze in and out like that through the prairie dog holes when they go in. We had black-footed ferrets here in America, but they're dying out because the farmers were poisoning them. They're illegal in Massachusetts to own, but you can own them in all the surrounding states.
Or if you have a wonderful zoo like here at Southwick's.
Like here at Southwick's, you can come and see them, yeah.
Our friends, the ferrets.
Yeah.
Well, that's our show again for tonight. It was great as always, wasn't it? And we're going to have another one real soon. Hey, good night, everybody.
Perhaps your future's up in the air. And you just don't know it. Aim high. Air Force.